So let's all just close our eyes, and I really want you to let yourself just listen to the words, and just, you can even go off to sleep if you like, just allow all of this powerful meditation that was given to me by direct revelation, and to just let the words sink through you. So that on the deeper level of structure through story, that we can actually have this, if you like, templated into our brain, our mind, from which then we will act without even having to think about it. And I want to start by just reading one paragraph from page 306, The Holy Instant. Start now. Now. The moment of now, where you are here and now. Time, now, and space, here, come together in the eternal moment, the holy instant. So as I read this paragraph, I want you to just feel how it feels to be present. Feel your feet on the floor, your back against the chair. Notice the air around you, the sounds. Go into your heart. Feel the heartbeat. Be present. To be present is not in the mind, it's of a state of being. And you can only be present here, and you can only be present now. The past doesn't exist, it's just ideas in your head, and there is no future. When you get to tomorrow, it's always today. There is no other time that you exist except now. And it's always now for you. So be present. Start now to practice your little part in separating out the holy instant. You forget what's going on all around you in the dream of your life. The truth is here and now, and you have to be present in it. You will receive very specific instructions as you go along to learn to separate out this single second and to experience it as timeless. It's space, here. Experience it as without time, timeless, eternity. And that's to begin to experience yourself not as separate, because there is no you in the here and now. Everything's still, peaceful, clear, safe, certain. No ego present, notice. Fear not that you will not be given help in this. God's teacher and his lesson will support your strength. But you have to stop and allow God in. God only exists in the here and now because it is eternal. God can't exist in the future, can't exist in the past. God only exists in the eternal, holy instant of now. Feel that. That is a truth and can never change. So if you don't stop and become into the here and now, you will never know God, which is why the ego wants you to keep running and doing and being in the past and being in the future. Because its whole aim is to separate you from your Father. It is only your weakness that will depart from you in this practice, for it is the practice of the power of God in you. Use it but for one instant, and you will never deny it again. Once you've experienced this moment of here and now, and you choose to be present within it, you are in heaven. Heaven is a state of being where God communes with his Holy Son. No matter what your ego may want to tell you, in this moment, here and now, you are in your Christ state with God in heaven. And if you were never to move from this moment, and if your ego pulls you out, you keep returning, saying to yourself, I am the Christ, the holy present in the here and now, co-creating with God. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That, no matter what is happening in your ego world, brings you back. It's like being a reborn every moment. Who can deny the presence of what the universe bows to in appreciation and gladness? You cannot deny the truth of your own experience if you can get there in this moment, here and now. Before the recognition of the universe that witnesses to it, all of your doubts, uncertainties, fears must disappear. Having once experienced, you only need to experience the holy instant once to have it for eternity. Hear that, know that. And now I'd like to tell you a story. We here and now, present in the holy heaven, light of understanding, where peace must come, because peace and understanding are one coin, if you like, one thing. In order to have peace, you must have understanding. In order to have understanding, and when you have understanding, you have peace. Light is not electric light as such. Light is understanding, knowledge, which is only of God. So in this beautiful, beautiful place of heaven where we are present here and now, there is only the light of understanding. We can imagine this, just for this meditation, as the sun. That is all that is, the sun, nothing else. And there is points of view within the sun, points of consciousness that the sun has allowed within itself. It's sons, S-O-N-S. You are one of those little points of consciousness. And let's call you Christopher, the little point of consciousness within the mass of the sun, the light and understanding. And one day Christopher, contemplating, wonders innocently, what would it be like if the sun didn't exist? What would it be like outside of the sun? Now, if the sun is all that is, there isn't anywhere that the sun is not. There isn't any time that the sun is not present. So really, the answer should have been, that's impossible, and laugh. But Christopher wouldn't let it go. He said, no, I'm sure I can create that in my mind. I'm going to imagine what it would be like. And he separates himself out in his mind as this little beam of light, point of light, into the only thing that could exist other than everything and light, which would be nothing and darkness. So immediately he becomes, in his mind, not in reality, but in his mind, a point of light in a mass of darkness and nothingness. And he starts to get frightened. Oh, but it's exciting too that he's managed, or he believes he's managed to do this. He's managed to turn everything into nothing. To turn all-encompassing, omnipresent light into darkness. But you see, he hasn't really, because he still is a point of light. So what he believes he's done, is dreaming he has done, is actually impossible on all levels. And he hasn't even really dreamt that he's done it wholly 100%, because he actually is the point of light in the darkness. But he's very excited about this. But the light keeps coming back because truth is unassailable. Truth is always present, and the light is the truth. And the omnipresent of the light is the truth. And it keeps coming back, and he thinks, I have to keep this out. So he builds a wall around himself to hide that little point of light, and now believes that he actually has created total darkness and nothingness. But all he's really done is increase his own fear and kept himself trapped away, looking outwards, and can't see the light that's actually still within the little shell body that he's made. Still, he hasn't done what he's thinking he's achieved. He's just denying the light. Someone who puts their hands over their eyes is not blind. They are simply choosing not to see. Somebody who puts a cover over a light bulb, a thick cover, hasn't diminished the light, but has just disassociated from the truth. And eventually you might forget that you put the cover on the light, but the light still exists. You have only achieved an illusion of darkness. But Christopher is so excited, he's managed to do this, he feels really good about himself on one level, but on the other level he's frightened and alone. He has false evidence appearing real that he is alone in nothingness. And eventually he forgets that he chose to create this shell around the light. And eventually he forgets that the light is even there within him. And he feels even more cold and alone and lacking. And he sees the light coming back, the light of omnipresence keep coming back. And so now he builds a whole world, a shell of a world, let's call it the earth. And then he creates mountains that block the light. And other people to block the light. Other shells and bodies and things. And keeps going on, putting things between him and the truth. And because he's a little child engrossed in the story, he gets so engrossed in the story that he forgets what he's done and now feels lost, powerless, that those mountains and bodies are real and that they are different and separate to him, and they are the things that keeps him from his abundance, the original light, and his father and his real family and his real friends within the light. The light of the sun, God. It starts to notice his son Christopher sleeps. And the son is lonely without Christopher, and he wants to wake Christopher up. He doesn't want to shock him awake. He just wants to gently nudge him, and he starts to call, Christopher, Christopher, wake, come and play, come and play. But Christopher is in a deep, deep sleep, totally entranced in this world that he believes he has created but lost control of. But God, the Son, continues to call Christopher's name and send the power of its light into his little dream well with his voice. And deep inside of him, that light that's never gone away starts to call to him as well. So he's being called from within. And what appears outside of him, the voice out there, that tries to get him to remember what he did, who he really is, the power of his father, and that what he thinks he's done is just a dream. And when you awaken from your dreams, you are pulled gently up into consciousness. And that voice starts to pull Christopher towards the light of understanding and remembering from which he came. And slowly, slowly, in the order that he put these barriers up to the light, he starts to remove them. He reverses, retracts back, following always that voice, that guidance from the sun, that he never actually left, couldn't actually leave. And eventually he realizes and remembers and finds a book, a beautiful book, A Course in Miracles, that tells him the story of what he did and how to reverse it. And it's like his map home. And as he follows the lessons in the Course and the teachings, and he starts to actually hear the voice as revelation, and he learns to trust that voice and to give up his own. That voice that said you're alone and you're in this world and you can't control it and you did this and your father's going to be so angry about this and he won't let you back to the light and all of that rubbish. The other voice starts to become more and more powerful, and he follows that map. And even though the ego sometimes says, oh, let's go this way, if he holds on to that map that he knows will get him home, because it was sent by the person, the guide, that is guiding him home, and therefore knows that route. As he undoes all of these layers that block the light of understanding of true self, when he reconnects back to the light of understanding within him who he truly is and who truly his Father is and where he truly belongs, he lets go one by one of all of those shells and those layers and those barriers, until eventually he returns. The pull of the sun and the light is so all-encompassing that it just re-envelops him, and he wakens his consciousness back to truth. And he, like Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, never left, just had a dream. And all of those dream characters were there before she bumped her head and had this amazing dream. And all of those characters were in that dream in different forms, in lack and need and fear and evil. But when Glenda, the good witch, the Holy Spirit, reminds her just to say, to choose, there's no place like home, she immediately reawakens into the truth that she never left. Oz was just a dream. And when we and Christopher reawakens into the truth of his true light of understanding and peace, everything is over. The nightmare ends, and the light of truth is omnipresent, all-encompassing and undeniable. You are Christopher. God is the light, your Father, your Creator. Light, knowledge, understanding, peace is all you truly are, and all you truly need to reconnect back to in order for it this nightmare to be finally over. I'm going to be quiet for a few moments while you allow all of that just to seep down through your consciousness, to reignite the truth within you. And when you choose to come back, bring the presence back with you. Just because you open your eyes, keep that feeling of being present in the here and now, your true state. Keep it in your awareness. And when you're ready, only when you're ready, you can bring yourself back to the manifestation of the here and now, and open your